Hello and welcome to the Center Stage 1 podcast at the historic Bay Street Theater in downtown Eustis. I'm your host, Jon Nettles, and this podcast is your sneak peek into the lives of the creative people here in Central Florida. Today we have with us Darius Kerrison, promoter with House of Laughter. Darius, thank you for being here.
No problem.
For those who aren't familiar with House of Laughter, what is it?
House of Laughter is a clean comedy company based right here out of Eustis, Florida. We've been doing it about 10 years now, and we look to keep going, man, to do maybe 100 years, 200 years. We're just going to stretch it out, see how far we can take it, you know.
Are you going to personally be around for 100 and 200 years of it?
I hope not. Ain't no telling what the world may look like then.
Fair enough. All right, so 10 years in the same city.
Yes.
Obviously, that's impressive. Means that you've obviously got some sort of knack to this. Is there anything that you discovered like early on that a lot of promoters miss?
That clean has its own lane. It doesn't have to be corny. And long as you stay in that lane, it can work. You know, I've been doing it 10 and I've had numerous offers to do other things, but I just always focused on clean, family, kids, stuff like that. So I figured that out real early.
Okay. Doing clean, do you feel that because some could say it almost like pigeonholes you into something. Do you feel that makes your job easier, harder?
Easy at times, but hard a lot of times because, you know, in my shows, we don't serve alcohol unless I go into a facility that they have it. But if I'm in my own, I don't do it. But the challenges have been like, you know, it's a lot of individuals who drink and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They won't go in a place that doesn't have their vice. So, you know, of course, you miss a lot of people from that. But overall, it's been a joy. You know what I'm saying? Just to see different families come together. I've had people who they ain't want to be here no more, and I get a text later on that night saying, "Man, thank you. This really was good for me." So, you know, it's been a rewarding situation. Yeah.
Any comedians that you miss out on because of the lack of alcohol being served or anything like that, or everything being clean, anything like that?
Surprisingly, a lot of comedians want to do clean.
Really?
Because a lot of them, they perform, but they don't their kids don't get to see them perform. Or the moms don't get to see them perform, or certain family members, or just people that they respect that they know won't come into a certain environment. That gives them the opportunity for that. You know, I've had a lot of comedians on my stage that their first time performing was in front of their kids. Wow. And, you know, they still doing stand-up to this day. So,
I mean, that's got to be rewarding for them.
Yeah, man, definitely.
So do you ever feel, as the promoter and as someone who's booking these comedians coming in, do you ever feel the pressure, like knowing that you're responsible for these people's nights out? They've paid to be here. They drag their friends and family out. Do you ever feel any of that responsibility on your shoulders?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's more like a mental roller coaster. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you feel the highs when you feel people buy tickets, but then you have lows where just recently I had a comedian at the last minute. He went another direction. So it's like now you're scrambling and you're trying to find somebody to replace them, and then you just can't put just anybody in that spot because the comedy show has to have a flow. So, you know, and then a lot of people say that they can do clean, but they really can't do clean. So you don't want to ruin somebody's night, man, who took the time out to get dressed, block out time, spending hard earned working money to come, get a less than product.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely.
Have you ever had a situation where you had a comedian on and they're going and you're like, this is not what we brought in, whether they're just not hitting, they're not clean?
Yeah, my very first show ever, the comedian that I booked, he got into a wreck on a rainy day. Okay. Got in a wreck like an hour before the show. He called me. All right, man, cool, no problem. He's like, but I got your replacement. It's like, all right, cool. He sent me the information, connect us. The guy showed up and man, we was flashing him. He wouldn't come down. And it got to the point to where, not a crowd, they don't, it's awkward because they, like the clean clock, they don't really boo you, but they just look at you. And it's
that's almost worse.
Yeah, they just look at you with a hard stare, and then he finally came down, and then the next comedian came up, went to roasting him in a clean way, and it turned out good, but that definitely was one of them moments. So
you had to thank the comedian that came on afterwards.
Oh yeah, I had to pay him a little extra, man.
Take some from the one guy, give it to the other. Yeah. Are there any, as someone who has seen and experienced and talked with a lot of comedians, are there any red flags that you look out for that just most people wouldn't recognize?
I try to look at the individual's life, like their Facebook, Instagram, all that type of stuff, because we live in a world right now where I promote clean shows and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be bringing a comedian who, they beating on women or, racial slurs or things of that nature because, number one, I don't agree with any of that stuff. But, it make it hard. It make it hard for, you might push away big sponsors or, anything of that nature. So, yeah, that's the number one thing I look for. And then I think another thing I probably would look for is just the professionalism. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had some comedians show up, show start at 4, they show up at 3:58, and you go on first, and you don't know what the feel of the crowd is. You don't know, what's up. You just know you going in on this time, and then now you end up having a bad set because you rushing.
Going back to kind of the early days, was there anything early on that kind of almost derailed this entire thing? Or did you ever get to a point where you're like, am I doing the right thing here?
I have to say probably like year 5. Year 5, the building I was at, like a lot of stuff kept going on. Like it was a lot of bad stuff was going on that year. And then like bathroom breakdown, like AC give out. Got 300 people in here, AC out. People fanning, but a lot of them, they stayed with me. They still with me to this day. And I thank all of them all the time for that. But yeah, that was probably that year that I probably didn't really want to do this anymore.
When you say those people stuck with you, are you talking about the comedians, the people who worked there, the people going to the shows?
The people that come to the shows. Yeah, they still come to this day. They laugh about it. They remember those times. They, hey man, give us a fan. We made sure everybody had drinks. Yeah. Then right after that, I think it was COVID? Yeah. And then that was a wild ride. And then it was like, all right, are we gonna do this again? Yeah. Do we want to do this again? Because promoting shows is really a mental battle.
How so? Walk me through that.
You got some people you can never really satisfy. Then you got some individuals who they overly excited, then you're dealing with all different personalities. Like I've encountered a lot of people through my 10-year stretch, and I don't remember everybody's name. And you know, people see you in public and it's like, hey Darius, how you doing? And you know, I'm always nice, but I always have like that kind of like look in my head, like I'm trying to figure out who this is. And then, you know, it always come out later. Oh, he didn't remember my name, you know, stuff like that. So
So being specifically in Eustis for the last 10 years, what role do you feel that you've played in really shaping the entertainment here in Eustis?
oh, okay. When I started doing clean comedy, my very first show, I've never seen shows around here. I've always seen, you know, little comedy shows at bar here and there. But the only place I've ever seen comedy was maybe in a church. Now, I see them everywhere. See them in Wildwood. I see them in, you know, Leesburg. I see them in Mount Dora, other places around Central Florida, and it's clean specifically.
Yeah.
So I ain't saying I gave them inspiration, but I'm gonna say I gave them a little bit of inspiration.
I'm not gonna say I did, but I'm not gonna say I did.
Yeah, you know, because it when you see the pictures, it looked good. You know, it looked 200-300 people and it looked good for a long time. Every show I did, I had a base of like 250, 260.
Okay.
My biggest show was like 380, 390. I did 2 festivals in the park with the city of Eustis on Parks and Rec. Both of those went good and it looked attractive. So, you know, I always knew people would try it after that and try to put their own spin, and that's good because the area here, I believe it needs that more consistent.
Do you have people that have been around for the last 10 years that you've watched them come into your shows, you've watched them maybe grow up?
Yeah, I got pictures, man, of kids early on, couples that was newly married. Now they come back, they married for 10. You know, just seeing a transition of a lot of people through their life. It's a lot of people that came to my shows, they're no longer here. And you just kind of see people, families change. It's almost like you ever seen the movie The Sandlot?
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end where the kid like they fading away and stuff like. It's almost like that, but just with different people, different their families is different. So, you know, I've seen a lot change. I've seen this area change.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Before, it wasn't a lot of entertainment. I would say, you know, they always had the Bay Street Theater. I think the Ice House Theater, but people who go to theater shows, I always feel like they're unique people. But the people who are outside and go different places, it never was really in the area like that, and I'm seeing a lot of that now, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. What keeps you going?
Family. So my mother and father, they're no longer here, and I always wanted to do something so big that when I'm no longer here, you know, my family can say, hey, my cousin or my uncle or you know, my father did this. He made his mark here, or they able to go back and look in the City of Eustis Museum and be able to see pictures from whatever and be like, hey, that's my, you know, so stuff like that. That's what keep me going. The people keep me going. It's a lot of people that they champion for me because kind of their hometown kid a little bit. I'm not originally from here. I'm from Umatilla, but you know, Umatilla, Eustis, all that stuff is the same, you know. So all that stuff like that, it keep me going. I always wanted to build something like how Walt Disney World is, where people come from all over the world and be able to come here. So that's what keep me going.
You were to speak to someone, whether it was someone who was wanting to get into like promoting or comedy, one piece of advice that you would have to someone looking to get into this?
Um, Write your vision down and make it plain. No matter what obstacle you have in front of you, you have to keep going. All your help is along the way. But you'll never get to your help if you don't go through obstacles. It's going to always be ups and downs. And just keep going. Whether you win, lose. I've had shows that was 30 people. I've had shows that was 400 people. I've been in a part where it's been 2,000 people. A win is a win. A loss is a loss. Each situation, you have to keep going. And of course, you know, get your money together.
It's an important one too.
Yeah.
So embrace the obstacles.
Yeah,
I like it.
Always.
I like it. All right. Well, Darius, where can people find out about your upcoming shows?
They can find out about upcoming shows at the Hideaway Performing Arts Theater.com. They can also go to the_House of Laughter.com or just come to my Facebook page, the_House of Laughter.
Darius, it's been a pleasure having you here. It's been great chatting with you.
Man, thank you.
On and off the microphones.
Thank you.
This has been the Center Stage 1 podcast with our new friend, Darius Kerrison. Once again, I'm your host, Jon Nettles, and we'll see you next time.